What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and another video. In this one we're going to be trying some self-portraits. I'm going to be using the Fuji XT30 with the 18 to 55mm lens. Never really done a video like this before, taking self-portraits in the way that I'm going to take them in this one. First off, I'm going to try some shots in the bedroom here right beside this window using the natural light that's coming in. I may use this seat behind me, not sure, but I think I'm going to keep them pretty simple and minimal in here. Then I'm going to move into the living room, take a few more, possibly with a few props and stuff. And then whenever I lose the light, I'm going to get the softbox out and try some with some artificial lighting. Yeah, just see what the difference is and see what we can get. Apologies for the audio again. Not sure if it's going to be echoey in here, but it's just the way it is. Also, I'm very much in need of a haircut. Hence the hat, which I'll probably keep on for most of these videos. I may change to a different one, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I will be using the FUJIFILM camera remote app to take these photos, obviously, because I won't be behind the camera to actually take it, and I'll be able to see myself on screen and stuff, hopefully. I was looking up about this app last night. I've never used it before, and the reviews are terrible, to say the least. So hopefully this works as smoothly as it should do. Okay, this is actually very difficult because when I'm trying to frame up the shot, obviously I have to look at the phone, but when I'm looking at the phone, that's obviously not the framing that I want. So I'm trying to like angle myself and then sort of change that pose without looking at the phone. And then also I have to focus. So whenever I have the camera set to continuous focus, because obviously I can't really see exactly what's in focus. The quality of the app, what I'm seeing on the app is really bad, so it's hard to tell. And when I switch to the app view, it only has single focus. So I'm having to try and like focus and then change the pose, put the phone down and hope that I'm still within the focal range. And then when I try to view the picture back, it's in really bad quality, so I can't really tell. And then I have to unsync everything to check it on the camera. There has to be an easier way. Just realised that was a manual focus the whole time, so the lamp was in focus. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to try a few more. Hopefully I can sort of figure this out and get a few that work. So I disconnected the app from the camera and looked through the photos on the camera itself, and it turns out the photos are actually really sharp. I have eye autofocus on the camera. I'm not seeing that working on the app, but it might be. But yeah, everything seems to be sharp, so I'm quite happy with, well, I think I'm happy with those few that I got. I'm going to try a few closer up ones here, more textury ones maybe of my eye, and just, yeah, something like that, and just mix it up. Let's crack on. It's actually kind of enjoyable to do. Hopefully I'm still saying that when I come to edit them and they look how I think they're gonna look. I was just about to take some shots. Whoa, that's the echoiest thing I've ever heard. I was just about to take some shots in the living room and noticed that our door has a little round window in it, and it's kind of creating just this cool sort of little beam of light through it. So I'm going to try a photo here. I don't know if it'll work or not. I'll probably try it in landscape because I feel like it's something very cinematic. It's got a cinematic look to it, and I think a landscape shot will kind of emphasize that more. So yeah, I'm not going to talk anymore because this sounds ridiculous, but hopefully this works. So as you can see, the softbox is out, completely run out of light. I did plan, like I said, to get a few shots in the living room, but the light just wasn't really working out. I did try one with the camera, as you've seen. I'm not sure how that turned out. The light was really low at that point. There wasn't much coming in through the window, so I'm not sure if it's going to be too noisy and stuff. But there are a few shots that I sort of screenshotted on the phone just for ideas of how I want it. These ones with the softbox to turn out kind of more of a almost vintagey kind of look. I think I'm going to use the curtain as the backdrop instead of the wall this time because it stops a lot of the sort of shine, and also it's a little bit darker and has a little bit of texture to it, which I think will help with that sort of vintagey look. I'm going to try my best not to have the curtain lit up too much. This is a big softbox and I've currently got a scarf over the top of it because I don't need the full softbox hitting my face. I want to try to, like I said, avoid as much of it hitting the curtain as possible so I can add a bit of a vignette and darken the background a bit, which will make me stand out a bit more. So yeah, gonna try that and see how it goes. Might incorporate the cup of tea into it as well. We'll see. Also, yeah, I have changed outfit. I didn't want to take so many photos with the same outfit on, so yeah, that's what we're going for. So with these portraits that I'm taking, I have the camera on the other side of the room and I'm zoomed in the full way on the 18 to 55, so I'm shooting at 55mm, and that is to get as much depth between me and the background as possible. I've tried to move a bit further away from the curtain and I have the light reasonably close to me, but I'm trying to stop it, like I said, from getting on the curtain. So yeah, these have a slightly different look than the previous shots during the day, which were took a little bit closer, but I think this is working quite well. I'm going to try a few different ones, and I'm also going to try a slow shutter photo. I've got a little idea in mind, no idea how it'll turn out, but I have seen people do sort of similar things, and yeah, it's just something a little bit creative that may look kind of cool. It could fail miserably, but worth giving it a go when I have stuff set up here. So yeah, let's try a few more and see what we can get. So the previous photo and the one I'm about to take may seem a little random, but what I was trying to do was capture some emotion in these portraits, just to mix things up a little bit. Frustration and anger was what I was going for, and with this one I tried a slow shutter photo which I thought might emphasise that even more. Definitely give myself a sore head after a few attempts at this one. Alright, well I think that'll about do it. I took a lot of different portraits there. It's kind of tricky. I feel like it's probably a little bit easier for girls to do shots like that because there's just a lot more poses that probably come naturally to them. It's definitely not my strength, but yeah, I think there's a few shots that will probably turn out pretty cool, but we'll have to see when we get into editing. So I'll edit them up and yeah, give my opinions on how it went. And that is pretty much how the little self-portrait session went. I'm actually quite happy with it. I think all the photos turned out pretty decently. I knew I could probably manage to get some good ones in there, but I probably got more that I'm happy with than I actually expected. It was a little tricky, especially at the start, getting used to sort of framing yourself through the phone and focusing. There definitely was a few of the photos where the focusing is slightly off. Like I talked about in the video, when I'm focusing, you're trying to keep in the exact same position where you tapped focus because I'm in single focus. But yeah, there was a few where it was focused on sort of one eye because I was sort of sideways and not the other one. But yeah, I don't really think there's much you can do about that when you're using the camera remote app. It's just the way it is. To be fair, the reviews, like I said, were terrible. I think it done okay. It is a little bit slow connecting and it disconnected a few times, and like I said, with the focusing and all, it's a little bit tricky. But to be fair, for using the Fujifilm, that app, as just a camera remote, it was okay. I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10, maybe a 5. The quality's pretty bad, and whenever you look back at the photos, you don't see them in full quality. I think you probably have to sync them up to your phone before you see them in full quality, but I'm not sure. It is a little bit of a process. I think I do prefer the natural light ones though a little bit more than the ones where I use the softbox, or at least my two favorite photos are with just the window light, and that is the one where I have my hand over my face. I'm kind of resting my head in my hand, and then the close-up version of that. I think they're probably my two favorites, where my eye is just kind of peeking out through my hand. There is a couple more that I like as well, and there is some of the softbox ones that I do like too, but I think if I had to pick one, it would be that one that I mentioned with the window light. It's just very soft, and it's hard to replicate window light with the softbox. The softbox ones are definitely a lot more contrasty, and the shadows are very dark. I think if I was to do it again, I would probably use another light as like a fill light or a reflector just to bring the shadows up a little bit. So then if I wanted to make them darker in post, I could. With those ones, there wasn't really an awful lot of room to bring the shadows up because they were so dark, but I still like how it turned out. And I think that the vintagey sort of style that I was going for turned out pretty well. I like how the colours and stuff turned out on it. Christina has seen the photos, so I'll get her in, get her to pick her favourite as well, just to see what the difference is. What was your favourite photo from the collection? Do you think I did a good job with my self-portraits? You do? What was your favourite?
Hello?
Tilt your head in.
This feels really weird. I'm like stunned. So for me, I think my favourite one is probably, I like that one, you know, with the
exact same one that I picked.
Is that your favourite too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like how that one turned out. I also really like the one using the window light, looking out the window. I think it's just hard to beat that natural light coming in from the side. And then there was another one that was one of my favourites, which is actually the one of the camera, but I know that you're not really a big fan of that one.
The one of the camera?
Yeah, when you're holding the camera.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one probably would have turned out well, but the lighting was really bad, so it's very noisy and yeah. Cool idea, just didn't really work out as nice as I would have thought.
But you did a great job, and you look really good in all of them.
Well, thanks. Obviously, a lot of those photos have a very similar look. They have that kind of candid look to them, not a whole pile of emotion going on. But the few where I sort of have that like bored, sort of fed up look, I think that's why I like them. There's a little bit more emotion to it. And then the few where I got a little bit creative with it. I was just thinking of how I could portray a little bit of emotion in them, like I said, and the sort of frustrated. What I was actually thinking of at the time was, if I'm playing Call of Duty, I get so frustrated sometimes. I'm sure a lot of you who play it can relate, and that's a photograph version of that, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, fun little shoot. Feel free to let me know your favorites below. I would love to know what you think. I know a lot of you guys might not be as much into portraits. Normally I'm not really either, but this one was fun, and yeah, just something a little bit different. Just before I finish, I'm sure a few of you have seen it. I did post a little picture on the community tab a few days ago. It was of something that I have recently bought from eBay. We got a few guesses in. Somebody guessed the Sony a7 IV, I believe it was. Someone else guessed the new Fuji lens, and there was another lens in there too, I think. I'm not going to reveal anything just yet. You may be right, you may be wrong, but we are currently in the progress of making the video that will reveal that. I'm not sure if it'll be the next one, hopefully, but if not, probably the one after that. It's quite exciting to me, and hopefully it is to you guys too. But yeah, this one was quite enjoyable. Hopefully you enjoyed it too. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you can see more. And yeah, as we always say, take it easy. Don't be a stranger.